Socrates famously declared that the unexamined life is not worth living, suggesting that self-reflection is essential for a meaningful existence. But in today's world, where constant introspection is encouraged, we must ask whether this pursuit of self-knowledge always leads to greater fulfillment. Could it be that the relentless drive to analyze our thoughts and actions actually contributes to rising levels of anxiety and uncertainty? By re-examining Socrates' maxim, we open the door to a deeper conversation about the true value of self-examination in the modern era. Is it possible that the quest for understanding ourselves has unintended consequences, shaping our emotional well-being in ways Socrates never anticipated? The self-help industry and popular psychology have long promoted the belief that true happiness can be achieved through constant self-examination. This idea has given rise to a vast array of books, seminars, and online resources, all encouraging individuals to look inward for answers. Over time, the pursuit of personal growth and emotional well-being has become a cultural phenomenon, shaping how people approach their lives and relationships. While introspection can foster self-awareness and resilience, critics argue that an excessive focus on the self may lead to anxiety and self-doubt. Nevertheless, the legacy of this movement endures, as millions continue to seek fulfillment through the ongoing process of self-discovery. Analysis paralysis occurs when we become trapped in a cycle of endless self-examination, causing us to overthink every decision and hesitate to take action. Imagine a programmer who spends hours debating the best way to structure their code, constantly revisiting options but never actually writing a single line. While reflection is valuable, too much can prevent progress. In coding, practical engagement, testing ideas, making mistakes, and learning from them is essential for growth. Similarly, in life, moving forward often requires us to act, even if our plans aren't perfect. Excessive rumination can stall momentum, but embracing a balance between thought and action leads to meaningful results. When individuals habitually search for flaws and traumas in their lives, even minor setbacks can become magnified into significant psychological burdens. A fleeting moment of sadness or frustration may be scrutinized until it feels like a profound existential crisis. This relentless self-examination can distort everyday experiences, making ordinary moods seem like symptoms of deeper problems. Over time, the tendency to manufacture misery can erode resilience and foster a sense of helplessness. Instead of finding clarity or resolution, people may become trapped in cycles of worry and self-doubt. Recognizing this pattern is the first step toward breaking free from its grip and restoring a healthier perspective. The idea of a hidden, true self, waiting to be uncovered through introspection is a common belief, but it rests on a questionable assumption. This perspective suggests that our identity is a fixed entity, concealed beneath layers of experience and social influence. However, psychological research indicates that the self is not static or singular. Instead, it is shaped and reshaped by our interactions, choices, and evolving circumstances. Rather than searching for a pre-existing essence, we continuously construct and reconstruct our sense of self. Recognizing this dynamic nature challenges the notion of a single, authentic core and invites us to embrace the fluidity of personal identity. Traditionally, identity is seen as something to be discovered, a fixed essence waiting to be found. However, a radical alternative suggests that the self is not a static noun, but an active verb. In this view, who we are emerges from the choices we make and the experiences we embrace. Identity is continuously shaped and reshaped through our actions, rather than being predetermined. This perspective encourages us to see ourselves as works in progress, constantly evolving. By engaging with the world and taking initiative, we forge our own sense of self. Ultimately, identity becomes a dynamic process, defined by what we do rather than what we are. Qualities such as kindness and passion are not simply traits we possess by nature or develop through contemplation alone. Instead, they are cultivated through our actions and choices in daily life. When we practice kindness, for example, It is the act itself that shapes our character, reinforcing empathy and compassion with each gesture. Similarly, passion grows as we engage deeply with activities and pursuits that matter to us. Self-development, therefore, is best understood as a process of creation, where who we become is forged through what we consistently do. By reframing personal growth in this way, we recognize that meaningful change arises from our behaviors, not just our intentions. True fulfillment is discovered through active participation in the world around us, rather than through constant introspection. While self-reflection can offer valuable insights, it is our experiences, relationships, and actions that truly shape a meaningful life. By embracing opportunities, facing challenges, and connecting with others, we cultivate a sense of purpose and satisfaction. Endless self-analysis can sometimes lead to stagnation, but engaging with life propels us forward. Ultimately, it is through living, rather than merely thinking about living, that we find empowerment and fulfillment. Clarity often arises not before we act, but as a direct result of our actions. Rather than waiting for perfect understanding or insight, taking the first step can illuminate the path ahead. Experience has a way of revealing nuances and truths that contemplation alone cannot provide. Through engagement and experimentation, we discover what works, what doesn't, and what truly matters to us. This process transforms uncertainty into personal insight, making clarity a natural byproduct of doing rather than a prerequisite for beginning. In essence, action is the catalyst that turns vague ideas into concrete understanding. As we reach the end of our exploration, consider this revised philosophy: the unlived life is not worth examining. Reflection alone is not enough. True understanding comes from experience and action. By stepping beyond contemplation and embracing new challenges, we open ourselves to growth and transformation. Let your actions lead the way, shaping your mindset through lived moments. In doing so, you may discover insights that reflection alone could never reveal. The journey begins not in thought, but in the choices you make each day.